What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 73, and we start today's episode off with some player training and also January transfer deadline day. So deadline day arrives in the January transfer window, and of course a couple episodes ago we sold 4 of our players in Matip, Schneidlin, Shelvey and Olare. That gave us £84 million to work with, and we signed Laporta and Carvalho in the last episode as replacements for Matip and Schneidlin, but we wanted a replacement for John Joe Shelvey as well, who went to Norwich for £20 million. The 2 transfer targets I had in mind were Ross Barkley and Jordan Henderson, so we put in bids of £17 and £16 million respectively for Everton and Liverpool's midfielders, and we shall wait and see what they say. And also this guy I noticed was available on a free transfer. I only noticed it because a few of you guys pointed out in the comment section in the last couple episodes, a few people commented and said Neymar was available on a pre-contract, so I thought I'd look into this, and you guys are right. He was available to offer a contract to and possibly get him on a free transfer, and as you can see right here, after giving him a 200 grand a week salary, we are going to get possibly the steal of the century because the Brazilian says he wants to swap sunny Spain for Vicarage Road. So it looks like Neymar is going to come to Watford. As you can see, Liverpool and Everton both accept those bids for Barkley and Henderson of £16 and £17 million respectively. So Henderson, that will be I think £1 million or £2 million over his valuation, but for Barkley £17 million. Everton accept a valuation bid. That's why I always encourage putting in valuation bids right from the beginning, because you never know when a club will accept it or not, particularly if a player's in bad form. But anyway, Neymar does accept a pre-contract here, and how about this for the steal of the century, guys? Thank you so much for letting me know that it was available on a free transfer. Neymar is going to come to Watford next season. Unbelievable stuff. Thank you very much for recommending me him, and yeah, Neymar is going to come in next season to Watford. That is going to make next season unbelievable. I mean, we're not a little club anymore, we should say that. It's not bizarre to see that sort of stuff happening because we're not a small club anymore. We're a club that's going for the title this year, and we're in the Champions League knockout stages. So yeah, in comes Neymar for next season, the steal of the century, and what a deal on transfer deadline day. And also Barkley and Henderson both accepted their contracts here. Both players wanted to come in and join us here at Vicarage Road. Barkley, we didn't have his overall. I wasn't really sure what it was, but because he was £17 million valuation, I was going to imagine it would be around 80 to 81, 82 overall. And as you can see, I let you guys make the choice here on Twitter. I didn't know who to sign, but as you can see, I threw it out to you guys on Twitter. This is why you guys are following me on Twitter, by the way, so you can make signings like these. I threw it out to you guys on Twitter, said, who do you want me to sign, Ross Barkley or Jordan Henderson? Over 460 of you voted, and you decided pretty comfortably that Ross Barkley was the man you wanted to come in to Vicarage Road. So Henderson is not going to come to Watford, which is pretty fair, to be honest, because we had Henderson last year in my West Bromwich Albion career mode. So maybe Barkley coming in, it changed it up a little bit. Maybe that's what you guys are thinking. But either way, Barkley 3 years younger at 24, whereas Henderson was 27. He's a CAM, Henderson's a CM, and also as well they are both 81. As you can see right here, Barkley's stats, he is an 81 overall rated attacking midfielder. So Barkley's going to come in for £17 million, and I'm more than happy with that deal as well. I think that's a really good deal. Selling Shelby for £20 million and bringing in Barkley for 17, in my opinion, is a really good piece of business. And although personally speaking, I think Henderson may have been the better choice for a sort of a more deeper role, if you will, in the CDM role where Schneidlin and Shelby were playing most of the football this year, Barkley could possibly come in and replace Buffal, who hasn't really done it for us at Watford. He hasn't been too bad. He scored a couple of nice goals last season, a couple of nice assists as well, but he's never done too well for us. Scored another good goal this year as well, didn't he, against Swansea? But either way, he's never done too well for us. Signed for £21.25 million, hasn't grown any ratings, still at 81 overall. He's also 24 years old, like Barkley is, so maybe Barkley will come in and take the place of Buffal, and Buffal will drop to the bench. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but anyway, thank you to everyone for voting regardless. If you did vote for Henderson, I do apologise, but you can't say fairer than letting you guys have the vote, and of course you guys did decide that Ross Barkley was the man you wanted. So Barkley is going to come in. Again, thank you for voting. If you want to follow me on Twitter, by the way, guys, it is at @Docklanders. I do this, in my series every now and then, let you guys make some signings. This is the first one this series, but either way, sometimes I let you guys make a signing, and you guys did decide it was Ross Barkley who you wanted. So that does end transfer deadline day. You can see Lacazette goes to Chelsea there. How about that? But yeah, what a deadline day, and what a transfer window in general. Selling 4 of our players for £84 million, bringing in those players right there, and of course with Neymar coming in on a pre-contract, on a free transfer next season. That was one of the most interesting January transfer windows I have ever had. I mean that. It was unbelievable. I did not expect to sell those 4 players, and the irony is, the episode before that one, where we sold all those players. I talked about the January transfer window when we entered it, and I said, you know, I don't plan to make any big deals, or I don't plan to sell on any key players or something like that. And we sold 3 of our key players in the first 11 on the bench, and then brought in those players to replace them as well. It really has been all change at Watford during this January transfer window. And, you know, I'll say it again, you know, the business we've done was really, really good. You know, let me know in the comment section down below how you rate the business. I think I did quite well, to be honest. But, you know, maybe, just maybe, we might end up regretting some of this stuff because, you know, Matip and Schneiderlin had fantastic years. Shelvey's done okay for us since coming in the start of last season. Obiolari, okay, leaving isn't really a big deal, but, you know, in particular, Matip and Schneiderlin were fantastic for us this season, so it's not a real surprise that Valencia and Inter wanted them for 28 and 30 million pounds respectively. So, yeah, have we made the wrong deals there? Even though Laporta and Carvalho seem better on the face of things, maybe they won't perform as good in-game. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Right now, though, as you'll see after the score report, we are still top of the table with 14 games to go. We are 5 points clear of United, 9 points clear of Chelsea, and 12 points clear of City in 4th, and also 14 points clear of Liverpool in 5th. I think it's pretty nailed on the wall that, again, we'll finish in the top 4 this season, and right now we are still favourites to win the Premier League title with 14 games to go, and touch wood, we'll be able to do that. In the FA Cup, in the defence of that trophy, we're into the round of 16, where we'll be taking on Everton, so that will be very interesting. Ross Barkley leaving to us, will be facing his former club, and in the Champions League, of course, as you already know, we'll be taking on the Dutch side Ajax in the round of 16, and the board wants to reach the quarterfinals in that competition, so we'll have to do well in it and try and get ourselves through to the quarterfinal stages.
Ross Barkley was good enough as a youngster with England to go to the World Cup in 2014. It wasn't a great campaign for the country, but it was great for him.
Yeah, interesting to see how he gets on here as born and bred Scouser.
And coming into this game, the first and only one of today's episode here, we will take on the Welsh side Swansea as they travel to Vicarage Road to come and take us on in the Premier League. Obviously, in the last episode, we had that game against Arsenal. That was the last game in the last episode where we drew it 1 goal each. Marco Ryan Tyler getting an assist for Ruben Loftus-Cheek in that game. We were lucky in that game to get a point, though. So coming to this one against Swansea, I was desperate to bounce back, have a win, return to winning ways, and do it comfortably, and not look as poor as we did in the game against Arsenal, where we really did get away with one. Still taking on Swansea, though, and the first couple of chances fell to us. William Carvalho almost got his first goal for the club, and Ross Barkley almost scored on his debut here. Got played through one-on-one, but the shot was well saved by Castile and turned behind for a corner. And from that corner, it was headed away by Kyle Norton, back to Marco Ryan Tyler, who swings it in for his second time, and Loftus-Cheek, who scored in the last game against Arsenal, probably should have scored there as well. He won the header only a few yards out, but he couldn't hit the target, and it goes wide and behind. So still 0-0, but in the 19th minute, once again, Ryan Tyler is causing some damage, skips past Nathan Dyer, gets himself inside the area, and the former Spurs fullback Kyle Norton takes him down and gives away a penalty. So penalty to Watford 20 minutes in. Absolutely love Marco the Magician. I'm so glad you guys decided to tell me to keep faith with him, because he's been really good for us, and he does win a penalty. So penalty to Watford, and unsurprisingly, Balotelli would stand up and Balotelli would score it as well. The number 45 scores once again in the Premier League. What a bargain he has been on a pre-contract. If Neymar turns out to be just as good as this guy is, we are going to have an unbelievable front 5 next season. Balotelli with a goal, smashing the ball into the top corner and getting his 15th goal in the Premier League so far. An unbelievable season for Super Mario, and it is Watford 1, Swansea 0. So we go 1-0 up in this game through Mario Balotelli. In the 36th minute, Swansea had a good chance there, but Gylfi Sigurdsson's shot goes wide of the post and behind for a goal kick, so the Icelandic playmaker couldn't hit the target, and it does go wide and behind from this former Spurs man. So still 1-0. And in the 45th minute, how about this for a save by Jack Butland? Pretty poor defending from me, but what a stop by our goalkeeper, and it was still 1-0. We made some big signings in the January transfer window, but one of our biggest signings was signing that guy to a new contract. Unbelievable stuff from Butland, and it was still 1-0. On the stroke of half-time, though, William Carvalho once again went in search of his first goal for the club, but sadly Castile makes a great save and turns behind for a corner. But at half-time, as you can see, Swansea were playing quite well. It was a pretty balanced first half, really, but we still had the lead by a goal to 0. And in the second half here, 14 minutes after the restart, Barkley, looking for a debut goal, goes pretty close there from range, but it was still 1-0 to Watford. But Swansea had a great chance here in the 68th minute as Montero sprints down the left-hand side, crosses the ball into the centre and picks out Gomes, but sadly for him, he hits the bar, and we just about get the ball away. So what a great chance there for Gomes, but he hits the bar with a header, and it was still 1-0. But if Swansea get on the ball here and try and carve out another chance, Montero finds Tabanu inside towards Key, but as Key gives it away here, it comes to Klein through to Carvalho. Carvalho gives it to Danny Rose, our left-back here, sprints through, gives it to Bertrand Traore, and it's a really good chance here as he plays it down left-hand side towards Konoplyanka, takes it around his man, plays it back to Carvalho, inside towards Barkley, Barkley inside towards Konoplyanka, a really nice team goal, and it's wrapped off with the Ukrainian getting his third goal of the season and making it Watford 2, Swansea 0. So our record signing here at Watford, getting the goal, putting us 2 goals up, a very nice, easy sort of passing, simple build-up move, Barkley getting an assist on his debut, picking out Konoplyanka, a really nice finish, and it is his third goal in the Premier League this season. So Konoplyanka with a goal, 2-0 to Watford, and just despair for Swansea really, just hitting the bar through Gomes, and then a couple minutes later, seeing them concede for a second time, and surely seeing them lose the game. And that's exactly what happened. We did finish up with a win by 2-0. Very pleased with that. Swansea did play quite well, in all fairness, and on another day, possibly could have got themselves a point that they maybe would have felt they deserved. Either way, a 2-0 win for us, really pleased with that. An assist on his debut for Ross Barkley, he played pretty well, went pretty close a couple of times as well, but of course the most important thing was getting the 3 points, and we got it as well. So you can see by the stats here, Swansea had more shots, same amount on target, and more possession as well, but just couldn't find the back of the net. Butland played quite well, the defence played quite well in general, and in the end, of course, the most important thing was making sure we put the ball in the back of the net, unlike they could do, and we did win the game by 2-0. So pleased with that, and of course we stayed top of the table with 13 games to go by 5 points. But that does end the episode though, guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.